Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another action movie night. Tonight, I will be reviewing The Delta Force, released in 1986, directed by Menahem Golan, written by Golan and James Brunner, starring Chuck Norris, Lee Marvin, Robert Vaughn, Steve James, Robert Forster, Bo Svenson, Martin Balsam, Shelley Winters, George Kennedy, Joey Bishop, Kim Delaney, and Susan Strasberg. Now, when this film was originally announced in 1985, it was set to star Chuck Norris and Charles Bronson, with Joseph Zito directing. But as filming started to begin, Bronson was forced to drop out of the project due to a commitment to the film Act of Vengeance. That's a shame, because it would have been really great to have gotten to see Chuck Norris working with Charles Bronson. But we do get Charles Bronson's co-star from Death Hunt, Lee Marvin, taking his place in the role. So we still get an iconic duo of getting to see the legend Lee Marvin working with Chuck Norris. And as the main members of the Delta Force in this film, with Chuck Norris playing Major Scott McCoy and Lee Marvin playing Colonel Nick Alexander. We get some really cool interactions with those two, since they are the two leaders of the team. And you actually get Robert Vaughn playing a good guy playing General Woodbridge. It's unusual for him. And then you get Steve James playing the character of Bobby. He played a lot of these roles with Chuck Norris, where he almost played like a sidekick character to him for not just comic relief, because he was a really good action star himself in his own right, but he also did the American Ninja films alongside Michael Dudikoff. So Steve James was quite an action star in his own right. So really cool having him in here. And then we have Robert Forster as the villain of the piece, playing a Palestinian terrorist named Abdul Rafai. Now, this bothers me just because a lot of his underlings that are working under him are played by Middle Eastern actors. Or at least they look like they're Middle Eastern. Robert Forster does not look Middle Eastern at all. And the fact that he is trying to do this Palestinian accent, it just does not work for me. And it brought down the scenes that he was in just because of that. Because that's a shame, because a lot of the sequences on the plane and everything where Forster and the rest of the Palestinian terrorists take over the plane, you have some really great performances in here. You got Bo Svenson as Captain Roger Campbell, and he does a really good job in his role. You got Martin Balsam and Shelley Winters as the couple of Ben and Edie Caplan. And then you have George Kennedy playing Father William O'Malley, and he just is such a likable character in here. As is a lot of these characters on the plane. You really do care for these people and are worried for their safety in here. It just hurts that, you have this leader of them not being played by a Middle Eastern actor, or someone who at least looks Middle Eastern, with Robert Forster. And he's doing, like I said, this over-the-top accent in here. But if you can look past that, the whole setup for the taking of the plane and then the Delta Force being called in to catch them as they're landing and everything and take them down and everything. It is it's a slow burn. It's not a big action adventure film. For the most part, it is more tension filled with the scenes in which the plane has been taken over. It's probably not even for an hour before we finally start getting the Delta Force going up against the terrorists in this. But it is a very well-made film by Menahem Golan. You also have some extras in here playing Delta Force members that I see two of them in here, but I don't know where the other one is. But Liam Neeson, Mykelti Williamson, and Kevin Dillon are in this playing Delta Force members. And you can see Liam Neeson, Mykelti Williamson, in a sequence when Steve James is walking through this field about to take the plane and everything. And right behind him is Liam Neeson. Mykelti Williamson in there. So you can see those two in there, but I haven't been able to spot Kevin Dillon. But they are in this, apparently. But overall, I think this is one of Chuck Norris's best films, just because of the plot and it not really being a martial arts film. He is more a character that is working with an ensemble cast. And that ensemble cast is very good. Like I said, I mean, you got Lee Marvin, you got Robert Vaughn, you got Steve James, you got Bo Svenson, you got Martin Balsam, Shelley Winters, even though, you know, Shelley Winters does go a little bit over the top like she would do during these films. It works for the character, I believe, in this film. So, and then you, of course, you got George Kennedy, you got Joey Bishop, you got Kim Delaney, and you got Susan Strasberg in there. I mean, and these are all really, really good actors and actresses in this. So, Chuck, like I said in a previous review on this channel, Chuck is best when he has a really good cast working with him and everything. And he has that in the Delta Force, for sure. And the direction by Menahem Golan is very, very well done. Pacing, it is tense. Like I said, it doesn't never get really boring, or it didn't for me. So my final review of The Delta Force from 1986. I am going to give this film a 8.9 out of 10. As I said, it is one of the better films by Chuck Norris. Partially, like I said, because it is a ensemble piece. The only thing that kind of brings the score down is the over-the-top goofy casting of Robert Forster. I love Robert Forster as an actor, but he was just badly miscast in that role. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. Well, that's it for another action movie night. If you missed last week's action movie night, check out the link above to get caught up on that one. And if you've missed any other videos, check out this down here where you can watch a playlist of any of our action movie nights that you have missed.